silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, you can be seated, please. Okay, y'all have to bear with me. I'm not used to this. So it may be a crazy meeting. Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, you can. Chris Dabrowski,
Here.
Donna Mosier,
Here.
Eileen Dunn, Bill Heidenreich,
Here.
Rick Adler,
Here.
Barry Burgess,
Here.
Lemay Nyford, Ed Wayner.
Okay, can we get approval for the disposition of prior meetings?
I move that we approve the minutes of the July 19th meeting.
Second.
All right, all approved?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, treasurer's report?
No, wait a second, you have a couple more?
The treasurer's report is included filed with the.
Oh,
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting for the August 2nd.
Second?
all approved?
Aye.
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 I move that we approve the minutes for August 4th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, treasurer's report. Thank you. I've been saved. Sorry.
Proof of notice first.
Jack, proof of notice?
This one?
Yes, we posted the agenda 48 hours prior to the meeting.
Okay.
We forgot.
I didn't hear him say that, I just said.
Treasurer's report. Is Rick on?
The treasurer's report is as filed.
I move that we accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Pass. Managers report. Did anyone introduce our new manager?
Oh,
No,
go ahead.
not yet. Sorry, guys. I don't know how many of you are aware, but John handed in his resignation, and our new manager is Jack Smith. Jack was with us years ago. He is back, and I'm sure will do a fine job. Plenty of experience, voted on by the board. So, Jack, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, on my report, I have the contract for the completion of the foam injection along the seawall has been executed with Stable Soils in the amount of $7,900. This report says that the work will be completed in September. Actually, the vendor will be here next Wednesday to complete the work. The drain project on the north, I think it's north side of the building, has been completed by Pasco County. And on Monday, they installed the sod, so that's all finished over there. I did have a meeting with one of the county reps. They're going to bring a sweeper truck out here to clean up the street, all the dirt, mud that's left behind. So they're going to go ahead and take care of that. A contract has been executed with Floyd Lowry to change out the pool and hot tub electric panels in the amount of $4,150. This work has been completed. The maintenance staff has been focused on landscaping and general maintenance. All remaining tree work from A to Z service should be completed in early August. It is done with the exception of the proposal that you have in your package. A contract for awning cleaning at the clubhouse was executed with On Clean in the amount of $14.50. This work's been completed. A contract for camera installation has been executed with ADT in the amount of $1,637. This work has been completed. Under violations for the month as follows, there was a total of 108. Of those, 71 were new and 86 have been resolved. And to update a couple other items on the pool, the geothermal contractor is here today. They should have the equipment back online today, so we should be able to work on getting the pool down a little bit.
Good news.
Also, the pool, there was a couple of violations from the health department. Mark took care of that, and that's all been handled, and the completion form has been turned in to the health department. The parking lot drain over here with the settling in the parking lot, spoke with the county. They have completed the videotape. They're supposed to get back to me with the findings to see what they're going to do about it, because we don't want to move on with any paving until we know what's going to be done with that drain. That is all I have at this time. Is there any questions?
The drain that you're talking about, is that from the pipes that they have running under there?
Yes. You know, where you see the patchwork on the parking lot over there
It's everywhere.
and the depressions that's
Yeah.
caused by that. It must be some form of leak or.
Well, they probably disintegrated, which is what happened to the one over that was just sodded.
Yeah, well, they said they did the videotape and she's supposed to get back to me with the findings.
Okay. The part that we're talking about, the sod that was put in, they also put in the sprinkler system was put back. That was all done by the county. I was amazed that they did everything they did, because we had planned to spend a good amount of money, I think about $15,000 on that. So we didn't have to do the wall. They did that. They put the new pipe in, they put the sod, they graded everything, and they put the sprinklers in for us. And ran the electric that we can just hook up the lamps again. So a big kudo to Pasco County for what they did, I think. Are there any other questions? Art committee?
Good afternoon, Ed Heber for the Art Committee. We received 19 applications and 19 were approved for your approval.
Thank you. Any questions, or is there a motion?
I move.
I have a question on this. Somebody on Calico wants to put up a garden fence? Is that permitted?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We checked on
Up to
that, right?
12 inches, that's correct.
All right, thank you.
I move that we accept all 19 ARCs for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, Ed. Committee reports?
Gary Beers, Live Oaks. Don't have much to report, except we get the dance Saturday night, bloody brunches on Sunday. And next month is just the dance.
Is there a time when they have to purchase the tickets for the brunch?
Yeah, we're ordering more, for the brunch. We got about 15 extra tickets that we'll have here at the door.
Okay, thank you.
Me. Jennifer told me about the memorial, not memorial, but salute to our service people, veterans. She said they're waiting on Joe Bates, who can't come until the middle of September, to give a price for the cement. They already have the flag and the monument
Okay. Then
prices.
we'll wait on that.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Liz Goodnow finds in suspension. We only had one hearing held on August 8th, It was for rubbish and outside storage, and it did get corrected. The resident showed up and it was corrected.
Okay,
And that's it.
thank you. That it for committee reports? Seawall project update. Okay, we have a proposal for the seawall project that we just talked about where they put the sod and everything in. GA Nichols and Company, and they would like to be paid for their prep work and giving us,
Well, we were kind of talking amongst ourselves because we weren't sure if y'all could. But what we had suggested to do is see if we can't get them to renegotiate on the price.
well, let me just finish so that they know what we're talking about. At one point when we were talking about spending the money and having to put a new seawall and doing other things with, where the county just did most of our stuff. GA Nichols was a company that we were going to use. Because of this, they filed a permit on our behalf. They spent hours preparing the permit. They weren't paid for it. They actually gave us a bill of $2,200. We didn't pay it. I know when John was here, his theory was that was part of their bidding process. And so he was of the opinion that we should not pay it. There was some work that needed to be done out in the pool area where at one point when we had all that rain, the tiles, the pavers at this end by the gate sank. Our guys went out and fixed it. It didn't last. It was sinking again and was a hazard. When we called them to come and fix it, they said they would if we paid the $2,200.
They did come out.
They did after, John told them, you know, if they wanted to be that way, they would be taken off our contractors list. Our engineer would also take them off his contractors list, which is why I think we got this. So, any discussion?
Well, we had thought since they did come out for the 16 hours or whatever, that we should give them a little something. Maybe we should try to renegotiate the price.
The 16 hours weren't anything that they came out and did. The 16 hours was, I guess, them checking and giving us a price. It was them getting the bid ready and then filing the permit.
Okay, so I'm glad you're here because I know y'all did more work with them than we did.
Yeah,
So,
I have to agree. They did a lot of work because at that point we were going to use them, which is why they filed the permit. I do believe they should be compensated.
that's why we were thinking negotiating the price.
Eileen?
We did sign a contract with these people, and they paid for a permit, so that's money out of their pocket that I
Correct.
think we're definitely obligated to pay.
I think in good faith, yes.
I
think we
move
have to
that
pay them something.
we pay them the money owed.
You want to pay I don't think we should, well, okay, motion's been made and seconded. I don't know that we should pay them the $2,200 because they have added the cost of the permit plus all their fees for coming and checking and deciding what their bid would be. I would say pay them maybe half. I don't agree with the $2,200 because there were other contractors that bid and they put hours in. We're not going to pay them for the hours they put in, so.
That's why I say I think we should renegotiate the price.
Yes.
I agree with it,
Eileen?
Do we know how much of the 16 hours is actual labor versus?
I would think of 16 hours, if 8 hours were used to prepare and turn in the permit, I think that's more than fair. If we pay them for half.
No, but I mean, did they do any actual labor for us?
No,
They didn't do any repairs, they didn't do any.
no, this was all a new contract that we were negotiating that they put a bid in for.
Did they do the pavers?
That was a completely different contract, and they did come and repair the pavers. No, that was part of contract work. That was still under our warranty, guarantee that they fixed what they fixed here.
So they,
But they were paid completely for pavers. I mean, that was done on a whole different contract. Yes,
Well, if you want to
they
know
were
what
paid in
they,
full for that.
if you want to know what they're actually charging for, it's on the cover proposal letter here. It states, once the association decided to engage the engineer, it says, I personally spent many hours making 2 site visits, having conversations with the engineer and revising the contract. My office staff spent several hours traveling to the Pasco permit office, filing the necessary paperwork and navigating through the review. That's what they're claiming these 16 hours on.
Right, but actually their 2 visits here were to give us a bid. And like I said, other companies also came to give us a bid and we're not paying them for theirs. I agree, the permit was $200, $199 something. The permit was $200. Other than that, he's billing us 16 hours at $125 per hour. And part of those hours, what I'm saying is that part of those hours were coming to get his bid ready.
Well, what would you like me to offer him?
Well, let's see what's decided here. Donna?
Can we make an offer to go in and at least do half?
I would agree with that. We would need to change our motion.
I'll so change it.
Thank you, Chris.
either better, can we table the motion until we,
No, I don't think we need more discussion. Barry, go ahead, Hannah, or you just,
I just feel like, according to his letter, and that's all I'm going by, is they spent 16 hours working on the project, whatever that was, it's 125 an hour. I think we're somewhat obligated to pay them that amount and be done with it, in my opinion. Having worked in the construction industry, I know how that is.
this was,
Eileen?
I think it looks like it was, they spent that amount to prepare a bid, they didn't do anything for us. They spent that to prepare a bid. The only thing is, we signed a contract.
No, we never finished the contract. We needed a final price. Donna?
Well, I was in contracting too, and I never charged anybody for coming out and writing up bids and looking over the work. I feel like half of this price is fair enough.
I think half is fair as well as paying the permit fee, because that was definitely on us. Dale?
Yeah, Thompson and Cheetah Drive. LeMay, you said that some of the other companies did the same thing. Did they do as much? Can they turn around now and?
No, no one ever charges us for a bid. That just isn't done.
Okay, so,
But the other companies did not file a permit and did not spend the time getting the permit ready. They did because they thought we were going with them. And as it turned out, we didn't need to because of Pasco County.
okay, because I just want to remind you all of one thing. We seem to have a hard time always getting contractors and people to get back to us. If word gets out that somebody came and spent 16 hours here and then you didn't pay them, that wouldn't be good for us at all.
I really don't think that's a problem, because I think if they look at this, they will find out. And part of this letter says, we do not have any hard feelings, but we value our time. And they look forward to receiving payment soon. After talking with John, and John talked to them about this, I don't think they will be unhappy if we pay them half of their hours and pay for the permit. Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion. The motion is to pay half. Is that in half of their hours plus the permit, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, fines and suspensions. Debbie, does someone have that?
It should be in your pack, the letter.
You have a handwritten?
Oh, just the letter, is that all?
Yeah.
There were 71 new.
Those aren't. Okay, for finding consideration, this letter was received by a resident. I will read it so that you're aware of what we're working on. This was August 7th. To whom it may concern, on Saturday in the afternoon after leaving the clubhouse, at the door was a man and his dog walking in while I was leaving. He claimed to live in Timber Oaks and just needed to get a drink of water. I waited in the parking lot for him to leave, and after 10 minutes, he still had not. I went back into the clubhouse, and he is sitting with the dog in the library with cups on the floor for his dog to drink. I asked him to leave, and he started getting very abusive with cursing at me, saying he was not leaving. I told him I was calling the police, and he got up and continued to curse me and was threatening me. This to me was very unacceptable, and I'm sure to you also. Sincerely, I won't say who put it in. Anyway, this happened around 2 p.m. We checked the tapes. We know who did it. We had sent a letter before this for something else that this gentleman had done. That was just a violation letter. We wish to take this to fining and also to restrict him from the use of the pool for whatever is decided. I would suggest 3 months, because I think this gentleman had been told before about bringing his dog into the pool area. He was caught on tape before with the dog in the pool area, running free, drinking out of the pool, etc. So,
Is this a service dog?
no, it is not. Yes? Yes.
So, you need a motion?
I would say we need a motion, Debbie, to send this.
Yes.
Yes.
I move that we send him to fining.
I don't know if it's finding, it's
And then
privileges. It's to take privileges, take the
Okay.
privileges.
I move that we take his privileges away for at least 3 months.
Okay, Liz, did you want to say something?
Well, no, I just wondered if you were going to do a finding
You would know more than I do. Is that what we normally do? Well, it would be turned over to you and you would decide, actually, with our recommendation. Suspension.
60 days.
And we haven't really had that many. The one that we did have, I can't remember, was 30 days.
Okay.
But it's whatever you.
I think,
How long did
I sincerely think it should be more than 30 days, only because this is a second violation. And he has been told about the dog being in the pool area. And then he not only brought him in the pool area, he brought him in the library and put water down for him and was there more than 10 minutes. So,
So you do what
I think this one would not be the dog at the pool. It would be the dog in the clubhouse and the water put down and the way he talked to a resident here and threatening.
Is this a suspension from the pool and the clubhouse?
It would be all privileges.
all privileges for 3 months?
Okay. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
What's that?
You have the capability of turning those
Yes.
fogs off.
Yes. The fob will be turned off. And this is a son of one of the residents here. Debbie,
Just, so the last time, the way we cited it was civil behavior. Okay, that was the finding that we did for the other resident. We did it for 60 days. We'll do this for 90 days, but it was civil behavior.
okay.
There was no fine as far as
Right, it was
money-wise.
just
It
the
was just
suspension of
suspension.
privileges.
Right.
Okay. Tanya, you have something?
Tanya Binkley, Monterey. It just seems like it's not so much the 55-year-old and up residents that are causing problems at our pool and clubhouse, but like their kids, their family, their friends. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that old, so like I pretty much feel safe all the time. But if I was an older lady, I don't know, I'd feel safe here, especially if I'm just trying to swim my laps in the pool and do my exercise. To not know who anybody can walk in here. Somebody could drop a fob in the parking lot, a homeless person can pick it up and walk in here and hurt residents, rob residents, destroy our facility. And I'll have to pay for that as a resident who's on the taxes and the deed. Maybe the clubhouse should be just for residents only, like family members, guests and visitors, people that, renters, people that don't have a stake in this, they really don't care what happens to it. And it's my investment. If you don't want to live in an HOA, you don't have to buy in one. I bought in here because I wanted to have a nice yard and nice things, but my neighbors do not. Half of them don't pay for it, so that's why they don't have nice things. I don't know. I just like to see some more accountability, and maybe there's other residents who need to speak up if you don't feel safe here. Like, this is your investment too. I mean, unless you don't care what your kids get for it when you die. You don't care because it's just going to go to the nursing home or it's on a reverse mortgage. So what do you care if your yard's nice or if your pool
You're
works?
kind
or
of
it's
going off
vandalized?
point. Can you stick to the point here, please?
People that don't live in here just want to come in here and ruin our stuff and not follow the rules. So I think you guys really need to do something about that.
That's what we are doing here right now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, can we have a vote on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is passed. Timber Park concrete installation. Jack, do you want to explain this?
There's an area.
That would be Rick.
Lost it.
Timber Park is over by Driftwood.
Yeah, there's a little piece of common area on the other side of, I think it's Pepper Tree Lane. The parents used to pull over.
Jack, can you everyone hear him?
I'm sorry. Barry, Ed said he wanted to let you talk on this area first to see what your thoughts are.
You're aware of this, right?
Yes, this is a triangular section that goes around the corner, the curve on Ponderosa Pepper Tree. And it's a little section that has a gate. The kids walk through there to go to Schrader and Bayonet Point. And the problem is they're pulling their cars up on that grass, and they do it so much that it's killing the grass there. And so the committee's point was, if we're going to fine residents for having sand or dirt and no grass, then Timber Oaks should take care of the common areas that they own and make them look nice too within Driftwood Village. So what she wants is concrete in the area between the street and the sidewalk so that they have a little place to pull their car up on that concrete to get off the street, to let their kids out there to go down that pathway to Schrader. I have mixed emotions about that. To me, it's like we're encouraging the people to park on that, and I don't really want to do that. I don't know what the solution is. John's thought was to pour concrete there so that at least it's not tearing the grass up and leaving a sandy area, which the committee does not like. So I don't know.
The problem is you can't replace the sod because there's no irrigation there, so it would not survive. And concrete, you're looking at roughly $15 a square foot. And if you're talking somewhere around 700 square foot area, you're talking over $10,000 for concrete.
I'm not sure exactly what the square footage is on that area. It's about 3 foot wide, I imagine, and however long, 70, 80 feet, I guess, long. I don't know. I would like to try to figure out a way to stop them from pulling up on there, but I don't know.
The problem with the area is that it's not a place where they are supposed to pull over. We tried to stop that, but they just went around it. So I don't know what we could do that would stop it. Maybe we need to look at that more.
I guess we'd have to find out from the county what they will allow us to do. Because if the county would allow us to put a little fence of some kind around
Guardrail.
there. Pardon me?
Or guardrail,
Guardrail, something around that corner, just to keep the people off of that, I would.
Right.
That's my thought, but.
Donna?
Or if not, maybe putting gravel, like rough gravel or something versus concrete. That'd be cheaper.
Or spikes? Kidding, I'm kidding. Eileen?
The one across from Oak Forest there, where the park is
Hold
over
that
there.
closer.
We have a lot of people, they don't even live here. They park over there, then they go fishing or they walk their dogs. They don't even live here. Or the one guy parked his camper there for a whole weekend. And
Where is
he
this?
wasn't even from around here.
Where is this at?
This was across from Oak Forest. There's a little park that goes down.
Oaks Park, thank
I
you.
don't know what they call it.
Oaks Park, okay.
Park. Yeah.
There.
And these people,
Okay.
I don't know
Barry?
if you have that problem over there or not, or if you paved it, was a problem.
I think paving is out of the question. I don't think we want to spend $10,000 to put some concrete along the street so they can pull their cars onto it.
We haven't officially had an estimate yet, that's just Jack's thoughts, so I would
Yeah.
hold off
We
making a
could-
judgment until we have an estimate.
You know,
We could do
have
that.
people with an abandoned car there too.
I'm okay with, I had said mulch, but then the committee said, well, then mulch would probably get moved around when it rains, maybe some kind of pebbles there or something.
Concrete, stone, or,
I don't
I don't know,
have a
either. I think
feeling on
I think
that,
too, we
so.
need to look at some prices. And,
Yeah, San Jose 14116. I think gravel, pebbles, whatever, even mulch, it's not gonna stop people from parking. I agree with Barry. Fencing or guardrail was probably your best bet.
thank you. Barry, is there some place near there, like, are they able to go around the corner and park along the street? Or is there anywhere else that they can drop off or pick up their kids from this area?
No, that's the issue that the committee and I went around and around about, because I said block it off. And they said, well, the parents have no other place to stop and let their kids out. And I said, well, maybe we need to shut that gate and then make them go around to the other where there's a cul-de-sac. But, the committee felt like that was an inconvenience for the parents to drop their kids off. So I guess I agree with that a little bit, but
Why can't their kids walk?
talking about 2023.
Yeah, okay, I don't know, do we need a motion to table this while we get some prices, or do we need a motion to get some prices or some estimates on what we could do there? Donna?
I'll make the motion to go ahead and table it until we can get some estimates. on what it costs.
All right, someone second?
Check with the county too.
Someone second, please? No second?
Second.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hold on.
I'm really confused. We can't block off. Do we own the fence or the gate? Does Tosca own that?
It is common ground, we own it, yes.
Okay, cool. So we don't need a gate there because this is a 55 and up deed restricted HOA, and I'm inconvenienced all the time. So I really don't care. But why can't they drop them off at the school? When did the school come inside of Timber Oaks property? I'm really confused why we should even be wasting our money on a fence that we can just close off and make them take their kids around to school, to the actual school, like my parents used to do when I went to school. Thank you.
I'll answer your question if you'd like.
Thank you.
No, thank you for not allowing him to answer. Now I
You're
see who's
welcome.
running the board.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the tree removal proposal.
I move that we pay $2,500 for the removal of a tree in Oaks Park.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Before that goes to a vote, I would like to recommend that you not have the stump ground and save the $500. There are other stumps in that park area. It's not a necessity to take it out, and you would save $500 by doing so.
This tree is in Oaks Park. It is back pretty far. It is at the end of a property, just at the start of one of the side lines that we own in Oaks Park. Leaving the stump in wouldn't be, I don't think it would really mean much. So. Any discussion, or do we want to take a vote? The reason this tree needs to go is that it's leaning towards the property that is next to it and could cause a problem. So,
These are one of the 13.
no.
No.
It is a dead tree that is leaning. That is. Donna?
When I make a motion, if the stump is far enough.
We
back,
already
it
have
doesn't
a
cause
motion.
anything to.
I amend my motion
Okay.
to 2,000.
All right.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Tanya?
I think we should have the stump ground because of bugs and whatnot. With the stump ground, we won't have to worry about bugs getting in there and the residents getting bugs like termites or pests or whatever on the other trees. So the stump should be ground.
Thank you.
Especially if the tree is diseased, the entire tree should be removed, stump and all.
Even if you
Any other discussion?
Stump, you're leaving wood there anyway.
Correct. The motion has been amended to leave the stump there instead of grinding it at a savings of $500, which reduces it to $2,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay. That's it. Correspondence, nothing. If anyone, would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is closed. Open forum.
Tanya Binkley, Monterey. I've had the honor of living in this prestigious 55 and up deed restricted HOA for the last 4 years. And in the last 4 years, I have received 5 letters for what were jokes, total jokes. In that 4 years, 10727 Hachita has just become worse and worse and worse. Now the county has put a letter on her garage door. She hasn't done anything. On my letters, it says that your major responsibility is to enhance and protect my investment. And I need for you to explain to me how 10727 Hachita and 10734 Los Santos have enhanced and protected my property values. I have complained about Hachita before in October and was called names for it and told I should move because I want the neighbors to follow the rules. The house has been in non-compliance for 4 years. And I'm just curious when I'm gonna see some accountability from this board, this manager, and this HOA I faithfully pay into every month and clean that up.
That 10727
Hachita,
and what's the other address?
10734 Los Santos. But all along the way, if you look in the gutters, you'll see grass and sand. As soon as you turn on El Lobo, it's right there. And it's ridiculous. I can walk home and I will send you pictures of every violation on my walk from here to my house, and it will be many. Look forward to my email in the next half hour. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking 14116. It's my understanding that there's some kind of a chemical you can put on a stump that will kind of eat up that, to get rid of the stump, that you don't really have to grind them out.
Not that I'm aware
Can we
of.
burn them? Can the stump be burned out?
It's called stump out.
Is it that there is something that will get rid of the stump? Yeah, I thought there was. Also, I'm not aware of the person that brought a dog into the clubhouse or into the pool area, but I see, there's many violations that go on. I asked a gentleman to remove his drink away from the hot tub one evening. But there's many violations that are going on. And I think that maybe somebody on the board or somebody can be checking those videos when there's a complaint and sending out the violation letters and possibly finding more than just this one person. Otherwise, you're gonna have the residents requesting, the expense again of a pool monitor, because there's many, many violations out of that pool. So, thank you.
I will say this, as most of you know, I was sick and was not at the pool very much in the past month. I've started going again. So one Sunday, Ed and I were there, and there was a gentleman there. I use that term loosely. And it was a family, and they had their infant in the pool in a swim diaper or a diaper, I don't know which. Ed went over and addressed it, told them they were not allowed. They insisted on knowing where it said that. So Ed showed them. Ed came back over, we were sitting under the awning. They were in the front corner on the opposite side. He came over and wanted to know why the rules weren't in Spanish. And I said, they were in English. Oh, so you're racist? Which is the farthest thing if you saw my family. Anyway, yeah, so he continued to harass us. He finally walked away. Next thing, the baby's back in the pool. And they even said to Ed, can we sit her on the side? And he said, yes, that's fine. No, they put the baby back in the pool. In the meantime, I had to go over because another person sitting with this group, I didn't know she was with them at the time, either a sister or mother, I don't know what. Anyway, she was at the table and she's sitting there with a bag of food and she's eating. So it was my turn. I go over and I tell her, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't eat on this level. You need to go to the lower level. And she said, oh, thank you very much. I turned to walk away and the gentleman who had the baby, the family with the baby in it, starts yelling at me. We are following the rules. We have done nothing wrong. We took the diaper off the baby. Oh, this has happened before. So we're going to have to change a rule we're going to have to add something so that changes. I told him he was being ignorant and disrespectful to the residents here. That if that baby pooped in the pool would be closed and everyone would lose the privilege of using it. He didn't care. This went on, we were there, a few hours. With Scott, Ned, and I sitting at the table. They came back over to our table, the whole family. Threatened us that if his mother got any repercussions for this, we would hear from his lawyer. It went on, I don't know how long, till finally, and his mother is trying to talk to me. And the whole time he's telling me not to disrespect his mother and yelling in my face. There were numerous people in the pool that knew us and were watching to see what was going on. I finally left. I told him to go away. He had no right to accost us the way he was. Now, the problem was, Ed stayed, I don't know how, and kind of calmed the situation down a little, but we didn't know their name. We didn't know who they were. It was a woman who lived here, who was a resident. Ed thought he got a name. We don't know whether it was a first or a last name. You can't see on those cameras. They do not zoom in. So unless it's someone we know, a resident that we know, there isn't much we can do. The cops are not going to come because they have a baby in the pool. The cops are not going to come. No, they're not going to come to enforce pool rules at Timber Oaks. Had he threatened us physically? Maybe. But in the meantime, we had Debbie check the fobs to see who was here, if we could recognize anyone. We couldn't. So we're stuck. Now everyone says, get pool monitors. What would they have done? What could they have done that we didn't do? Nothing. Nothing.
If the pool monitor had a uniform, it's some kind of authority.
We need a real security, not a pool monitor.
You know, can you see Bruce going up
Unfortunately.
and doing anything about this? Would he have been able to? Absolutely not.
I like Bruce, but he was a waste of time. The man couldn't have done anything to help
Well, even
anybody.
Mike wouldn't have been able to do anything. So, you know, saying, oh, we need pool monitors, it's a big expense and it doesn't help. It doesn't give them any more authority than the board president and vice president has. So,
Tanya had a good idea then, just keep it open for residents.
I don't think anyone's going to agree with that. And if you want to do that, you're going to have to get a vote from everyone.
Do we
And
know
there's-
that these people even lived in here?
The mom did. That's why he was afraid that we were going to, you know, bring something back on the mother. And I said, well, you can bet we will, but we don't know the name.
And you
Yeah,
can't find out by the
absolutely.
pool monitor
Privileges
what
are
time they were there and the day and the time and find out that way? There's no way of doing
You know,
that?
I could come here at noon sign in and be here till 7 at night. You aren't going to be able to pinpoint who's there. And a lot of people never signed out. We just left. You know, I don't know what the answer is.
Well, if I was Ed, there probably would have wound up being violence at the pool, because if I was
Yeah, I was
board
kinda
president,
hoping-
there's no way I
I
would
was kind of
have
hoping
left
someone
or
would
let
take them outside, but, you know, no
Exactly.
one was there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because believe me, I was very upset, and I understand people not wanting to say anything. I certainly do. I mean, we have somewhat of authority. Apparently not much, but at least we can say when they say, well, who are you? You know, Ed can say, well, I'm president of this organization. Other people don't even have that, and we get no respect. So.
Well, I mean, now that you're bringing this up, now you got me on another whole subject here, but since it's open forum, what about, now you're saying you couldn't do anything because you can't really find out who they were. Well, I have to stick up for Tanya on this one, because when Tanya takes pictures at the pool, and we were told if something happens to let the people know that they're not allowed to do what they're doing. I know who the person was. I saw the pictures at the pool, the motorcycle inside. It actually happens to be somebody that I was friends with, and I almost fainted when I found out, because I got in touch with them right away. And of course, they didn't get back to me because I found out what they did, and I was telling them that they were wrong for doing it and that Tanya was right. But if you want to find out who somebody is, and somebody actually takes a picture of them, and with the motorcycle situation and the water bottles, I cannot understand why you can't find out who these people are, especially when the person taking the pictures knows who the person is.
Then why don't they tell the office? If you know who it is, go to the office. Your name is not given out, tell the office. Then we can fine or take away their privileges. Simple.
Well, I thought that the office was notified, but I could be wrong. I forgot why I got it. Oh, yep, now I know. Yep, I have a question about the tree stump. Since I lived here, I had two trees cut down, and without going all through the rules and regulations, I just assumed I wasn't allowed to leave a stump. Is it okay for a resident to have a big tree removed and leave the stump?
Yes.
Okay.
Donna, did you say
Well, I just wanted to say, we all pay HOA dues for these privileges. It's up to each of us. When we have family and friends come to visit, it's our responsibility to go up there with those people and say, look, we have rules, you cannot do this. Don't expect that just because we're board members, we should be the only ones to be able to do this. Y'all have just as much a right to do it as we do. You pay your HOA dues just like we do.
And you tell them, I own the pool. I have a friend who used to say that, I own this pool. There you go, yeah. It's tough, and honestly, that Sunday that we were there, we spent the majority of that day telling people to obey the rules. It's not fun, let me tell you.
Most people, when you tell them, they are very
Yeah,
good, and they'll say, okay, and they do, like food up under the awning, they take it down to the lower deck.
we had two of those that day.
And, they did, they didn't make a fuss, but, and they made a fuss.
Well,
And they were guests, they were.
Yeah.
owner.
And she had more than she should have had there. But the one was a kid who jumped in the pool. So Ed went over and told him, and the dad said, I told you not to jump in the pool. And the kid said, no, you didn't. You get your jollies where you can.
Well, you know the old saying, when the teacher had to punish the whole class because one kid did something wrong, it used to really tick me off. But you better pass the word around that if this keeps going on with people's grandkids coming in the pool, nobody's grandkids are going to be allowed in the pool. Because if that turns out to be a problem, then just don't let kids in the pool at all. They go in the hot tub and they shouldn't. When this whole thing started about leaving the pool open overnight and everything, and I heard a lot of people say, oh, there won't be no problem, we're adults. I laughed like hell. I said, you are the ones that are gonna cause the problem. What are you kidding? The adults are worse than the kids. They don't listen. They think they're better than everybody else. They're gonna do what they want. In the meantime, though, the main reason that I wanted to get up and speak today at Open Forum is I wanna know what's going on with correspondence. And first of all, for the new manager, I introduced myself earlier. When I get up here to speak, it's never just for me. I hear things outside and people that can't come to the meetings and all tell me, would you find out this or would you ask that? So a lot of the problem right now in the last couple of days have been people that sign up for correspondence and they're not allowed to get on there. Why is this? Yeah, well, I mean,
Just because someone sends in a correspondence, usually the correspondence, if it involves a fine or something like that, then we'll put it on. But if it's just to get up and rant and rave, we're not going to put that on the agenda. That's what Open Forum is for. So, and the idea is you don't want to run 3-hour meetings. You know, just because someone wants to put something on correspondence.
well,
Also, if it's already been
but what I don't understand is when you all, you two mainly, say that you're up there for the residents, but yet the residents have had a lot taken away. And to me, that's a shame, and I have to agree with the people. I mean, the green cards were taken away, so we can't complain on there. Now we can't get up at correspondence and complain about anything. So, you complain about Facebook. It's almost like when I originally started Facebook, my page, I wanted it for residents' complaints. That's why I said residents tell all. I wanted us to be able to go on there and bitch and complain instead of coming here and bitching and complaining. But the next thing you know, board members wanted to get on, and the next thing you know, everything turned out to be a big mess. So I said, okay, we got correspondence time. Instead of coming on Facebook, go to the meetings, take your turn, do your complaining. Well, now they can't even do that. And like Ed just said with the time frame, a lot of people can't even make it to a meeting. We're down to one meeting. They took one meeting away from us. So now we only have one meeting. And now we're taking away the correspondence. If somebody can't make it here or can't stay right till the end, it's you know, I mean, I'm for correspondence being brought back and some kind of cards being brought back.
Correspondence was not removed. Correspondence is still there. But to have somebody come, write a letter on a subject that has been brought up 3 times during a meeting, it's just not gonna happen. You have Open Forum. If you send correspondence and we get to the end of the meeting and the correspondence comes up and you're not here, nothing is done.
Oh, I think those people should get some kind of a fine or something. They wasted your time. They asked to be on correspondence and didn't show up. I don't think that's right at all.
But Open Forum, you're allowed to get up and speak about whatever you want. What is the difference between that?
Because you're also allowed to get up and leave if you don't want to hear it.
Absolutely.
You don't want to hear it, so you don't let them on correspondence, because you already know, okay, it's so-and-so.
And how many times has that happened? I've been guilty of it 3 times. As far as I know, I'm the only one that has done it.
Well, but it's still, you have to think of the residents' part too. When you're saying you're working for the residents and the residents are saying to you, please don't take this away or please don't take that away. This is the residents that actually take the time to care and speak their mind. The rest of them, you don't ever see them here at a board meeting.
Right. But this is a board meeting, it's not a resident. And the point of the board meeting is to do the business. Now, that's why there is an open forum. People want to bring things up to our attention. That's what it's for.
That's what the site said.
And what is the point of residents writing into the correspondence if we can just wait till the end of the meeting to do it in open forum?
Like I said, usually the point of the correspondence is when someone is fined and they want to bring it up, that they have an excuse or something, and have the board give them a break on their fines or something like that.
Don't they go to the fining committee for that, not the board? I thought that correspondence was so that residents could get with the board to address issues that are important to the residents sending in the correspondence.
Open forum is for that reason, and you know that many things have been brought up during open forum, and we have worked on them or have added them into a following meeting. So,
Ma'am, with all due respect, I believe you guys are wrong. Thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Good afternoon, how's everybody doing? Johnny D, 108, 11 Los Santos. And just wanted to thank the board for everything you guys do. And Ed, I appreciate you showing up, even though I had your surgery today. And I hope it goes as good as mine did last year. I've had the best vision I've ever had in my life, but thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming. I think someone turned it off, it's kind of quiet. I could hear it real loud when Dale was talking. Anyway, discussion versus argument. An argument is two people or two groups of people trying to prove that their point is right and the other person is wrong, and ends up in being a lot of fighting and things like that. Not very productive. A discussion is when two people or two groups join together and they try and solve an issue to find the best way to resolve it or to find the truth together. Keeping unity intact goes a long way, and in my opinion, it makes things a lot more productive. And most of you know I have really strong viewpoints about some things that have happened in the past few weeks, but I don't want to come here every month and just repeat the same things if I'm not being heard, or I just want to understand that I'm one person, one voice here, and I don't want to have a louder voice or get more respect or attention than anyone else. But I think showing kindness and respect is more important than our ideas and positions or perspectives. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Are we here to argue or discuss? I would love to see more people come out to these board meetings, and I think if we could take a step back and show more respect with each other and discuss more instead of argue more, I think this place will be filled up. Good thing about it is it gives even more ideas. The more ideas we have, I think the better. And what I see happening here, this is only the third board meeting I've come to, although I usually watch them online. And what I've seen is cancel culture starting to come into this place. And cancel culture, all that does is try and destroy your opponent. There's a great saying that says, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. But we're not really here to cut each other down and slander each other. There's no benefit to that. Something that goes a lot farther is constructive criticism of that. And there's a lot of that goes on here. And I just think it would benefit us more, be a great benefit if we just were able to get along better and discuss instead of argue. And find more peace. Each person just understands we're only one vote, and we have to understand and still respect people. They don't have the same perspective as we do. And take us all back when we were younger. There's a couple really great songs that we used to sing. I'm going to recite a line, and I want all of you to say the next word where I stop. I want you to continue. The first one is a song that says, Lord, make me an instrument of your, anybody? Peace, thank you. The other one is, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with let's try to have discussions versus arguments, kindness versus disrespect, and love instead of hate.
Thank you. Anyone else for open forum?
Hi, Susan Duda and San Clemente Juarez Drive. There's one thing is for the art committee, I want to ask a question. A person lives on Juarez, recently bought, and he's brought in, you were talking about tree stumps. He's brought in tree stumps from, I don't know if he works for a tree cutting company or what, but he's brought in these tree stumps and they're all around his front, like landscaping, has potted plants sitting on it. And then there's, on the side of his house, there's multiple potted plants sitting like he's got a nursery going on there for, plants. And I'm wondering about that, if that's acceptable. Why is that acceptable? Because you're talking about termites, and if he's cutting down trees in other areas and bringing diseased trees in and using them as, plant stands, I'd say. I took a picture of it, but it's the fourth house on Juarez as you come in off of San Bernardino.
It is not allowed and should be picked up by our violation person as she goes around.
All right.
We will
If
look
you
at
can
her.
have her
If you can
drive
leave
by.
the address at the office, we'll have her check it out.
Yeah, I will. And something else that's been happening since school opened this year, it happened before, but it was at the stop sign on coming on to Ponderosa, which was a little more dangerous, but it's still dangerous. These parents are parking their car in the street behind the stop sign. Okay, and when I'm gonna leave the property, Juarez and San Bernardino, they're parking there for 20 minutes. If the bus is late, it's longer. And I had guests and they had to go around this person, and it's jeopardizing the lives of people that are having to go around get in the wrong lane. When this person, it's against the law to sit in front of a stop sign, and what I was wondering is, do you have more pull with the police, with the sheriff's department than I do? Because if I tell them these things, like about the speeders that go down Ponderosa, they don't do anything. Nobody does anything about it. I'm wondering if the board would call, would you have more to come and check at when the buses come at 3?
We have called and I think if our manager calls or Ed or one of us on the board calls, we do seem to have a little more pull. They seem to listen a little better.
Okay.
I would think that right now, because school just started,
Yeah.
that they're going to give it a little while and hope it gets better before they come and check it. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll check it out, see
All
if we
right.
can get someone there.
Okay.
And as far as the speeders, as most of you know, we're
working on that.
We're waiting for speed humps, who knows when.
Yeah, okay.
We'll probably be dead and be the speed humps before they get them in here.
Well, yeah, thank you for working on that, but, yeah,
Thank you.
about the tree stumps, do I need to give the address at the, okay, thank you. Thanks for everything.
I wanted to back up the problem with the parents parking on the street. I live over in Forest Green. I was coming home the other day and I came, not off the little road, but I came up Timber Oaks from Ponderosa. And if an ambulance had to get into Forest Green at that time, they're not gonna make it because they're blocked coming in off Little Road. They're sitting on the street and coming, in the opposite direction. They're stopped on the street there. I had to wait until they moved up so I could get in, where Richard's on the corner, Fallen Leaf.
Is that for the bus stop or is that for the school?
For the
I know
school,
they-
for the spring.
For the
something?
school on Little Road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that has always been a problem, but it's worse. And from what I understand, the health department on the corner is gonna move to the old VA building, and the school is gonna take that over. Well, if they're gonna use that for classrooms, there's gonna be more parking problem. And they're gonna be backing up Little Road. But as of now, an ambulance could not get into Forest Green when they're dropping off in the morning or picking up at night.
The problem with that is the police are aware of
I know, but they don't
that.
do
I mean,
anything.
yeah, right, us calling
They
and
don't do
complaining.
anything. They never should have probably put this, I don't know what was first, this development or the
Yeah, I don't
school.
know. Thank you. Maybe they should put a drive-through at the health department. That would be nice when they take that over so that there is somewhere. But it's all the cars. There's just too many cars.
They should stay with the little.
Yeah.
They have to do that somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Are we done? Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Sorry I was late.